It's time for the mic drop. I'll end each show by going deep on one topic affecting our community in hopes we can all learn a little more. In 1801, the Danbury Baptist Association of Danbury, Connecticut, sent a letter to the newly elected President Thomas Jefferson expressing concerns because their state constitution did not express explicit protection of religious liberty, as well as their stance against a governmental establishment of religion. See, the founders of Connecticut, largely Calvinist Protestants, had named their faith the state's official religion, and the Baptists were a religious minority and justifiably worried. As they said in their letter, what religious privileges we enjoy as a minor part of the state, we enjoy as favors granted and not as inalienable rights. And these favors we received at the expense of such degrading. Now, here's the thing about granted favors. They can be taken away. They're not unassailable like, say, a constitutional right. They can be here today and gone tomorrow. Now, to put their minds at ease, President Jefferson wrote back that he also believed that religion is a matter which lies solely between man and his God, and that he contemplates with sovereign reverence that act of the whole American people which declared that their legislature should make no law establishing, respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, thus building a wall of separation between church and state. Now, this was the first mention of the wall of separation between church and state, a wall that we have lived with throughout the history of this country. And although we may pray and invoke moments of silence, we don't have like a religious test for public office, nor should we, because we're a nation of many religions and no religion at the same time. And as President Jefferson wrote, that is a matter lying solely between you and your God, not you, the government, and whomever their God may be. And by the way, he wasn't the only founding father who felt this way. They all did. They were all about the separation of church and state because they knew what a commingling of state and religious policy could lead to. And so do you. You've seen it in action in religiously oppressive countries, you know, like the ones that we like to mock. And speaking of mock, let's take a look at what Congressperson Lauren Boebert had to say about that separation in a Colorado church pulpit just a few days ago.
The church is supposed to direct the government. The government is not supposed to direct the church. That is not how our founding fathers intended it. And I'm tired of this separation of church and state junk that's not in the Constitution. It was in a stinking letter, and it means nothing like what they say it does.
Oh, she's tired of it. Tired. Am I the only one who hears Chris Rock's voice? Tired. By the way, this video is courtesy of Patriot Takes Twitter feed and got quite the reaction of a few people, including former Maryland Lieutenant Michael Steele, who tweeted, "I can't, not today," in response. I know you can't, Michael, but you better, because she's dead serious. And so are many of her colleagues. They want to see that wall torn down. As former President Reagan said, tear down that wall. That's exactly what they want to see. And judging by some of the rulings coming out of the Supreme Court, it's not a foregone conclusion that it won't be torn down. That wall, by the way, protects everybody. And yes, even you, Lauren Boebert. Lord knows the founders didn't know everything, but they did know this. It was needed in the early days of our republic, and it's needed even more today. I want to thank you guys for joining me here on this Thursday. By the way, if you guys have any suggestions on stuff to throw into that Kevin Durant trade, should I throw in an extra Union Station bathroom, Chris? Maybe like that whole train with the crabs? All right, I'll see you guys back tomorrow night. That's it for Open Mic.